Hey, good morning everyone. We've got the pleasure of just catching up with Safe Families today. We're here with Rosey, who's the Community Volunteer Manager. So Rosey, I know it's been about kind of 9 months or so since we last caught up with you. So just wondering whether you could let people know, for people that don't, what Safe Families does, who you are, what you do.
Sure. Thanks, Sally. Well, first of all, can I say thank you so much for giving me this time to share with you and your people what Safe Families is all about. We are a national charity and we exist because we believe nobody should have to face life alone. We like to create connection and belonging, particularly with families that are feeling isolated or struggling for a whole variety of reasons. My own experience when I was a mum at home with my children, most of the time life ticked along okay, but there were times, seasons of life where it just got difficult for a while. But I always knew I had somebody I could pick up the phone, whether it be a friend, somebody from my church, a family member, and I could call on somebody and they would come out and they would help me. And I don't know how I would have got by without that, frankly, because no matter who we are, I think all of us are vulnerable to going through a difficult patch. And I know that there are parents out there today that are really struggling and through no fault of their own, they're going through a tricky season and they've got absolutely nobody that they can call for help. And I can't imagine what that would be like. I think this is a real opportunity for the church to respond, particularly in this time. It is an opportunity for the church to respond to the needs around us.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know there's various things actually that people can get involved with, isn't it, with Safe Families? Lots of different type of things that we can do to support people if we choose to kind of get involved in a charity. So could maybe just talk us through some of the things that you ask your volunteers to do?
Sure. So to be honest, there's no blueprint for it. It's a whole range of activities. So it could be as a family friend that you would be supporting a parent, and that could be on a very practical level. So it could be helping them get on top of housework or clearing a garden with them. We don't expect you to go in and do it for them. It's very much walking alongside. It could be giving a parent some respite, maybe taking a child to the park for an hour or two, just so that they get a break. It could be hosting a child overnight. We do have some families that are approved to take children overnight. We actually very recently in East Sussex, we were able to host a 2-year-old whose mum, she just needed to go into hospital and have a small procedure, and she had nobody to ask to look after her child. So local authority approached us and said, can we help? And it was absolutely brilliant that we were able to turn around and say, yes, we can provide a host home for this child. So mum was able to go into hospital with complete peace of mind. It could also be something like helping a parent fill out application forms, like for benefits or PIP or things like that. I don't know if they're very complicated forms and it can feel quite overwhelming, I think, particularly when you're struggling anyway. So to have somebody just come and sit with you and talk you through it can be a tremendous help. It could be as simple as just having a cup of coffee, sitting down, having a cup of coffee with somebody, just listening. Sometimes people just need to talk, and there isn't actually anything we can practically do, but it's just listening. And I think when you give someone time and you sit and you listen to them, you give them value, and the world so often doesn't do that. So just to be able to sit and listen to somebody is incredibly powerful as well.
I grew up in care because I lost my mum and dad when I was a kid. Being a single mum with 2 kids and not having much support, like family, because obviously I haven't got no family. I just wanted someone to understand me, like someone to help me, someone who actually can believe in me. Yeah, Peter and Vivian, they like help me with the children. Like if I want an hour to myself, they'll come up and collect the children, leave me for an hour, do what I've got to do. And then I've got Sue and Ray that help me with gardening and just take me out basically to get out for a bit.
She was very worried that she wasn't doing things right and maybe the children might be taken off her. And
she'd never had the parental support, had she really? What she was doing, she was making up on her own half the time, and she didn't know whether that was right or wrong.
We volunteered to take the kids out, but to see the kids growing up and for them to relate to you and know who you are, to know that we're giving Tam a break as well.
Because obviously I suffer with anxiety and depression, and obviously I can't take the children out, so I'm constantly with the children 24 hours a day, don't get like an hour to myself, so it affects my mental health a bit. If I didn't have them, I think I would have gone downhill and I would have lost my kids. And it's just nice to know somebody you can talk to when you need help. So especially with Ray, I'm always on the phone to him, how to put a curtain pole up, what do I use? He teach me how to use a lawnmower, the strimmer, so I could be independent a lot more. They're really good people. They've helped me, and you know what? They never judged me for what I've been through and what I've done.
Well, it's just a wonderful thing to do. It's just clearly God's will that these families should have help and should feel loved.
It made me feel like I've got a family, like I've got an auntie and uncle, or a mum and a dad. So it was nice to have that bond with them. They do change your life. When you're in a bad place, they make it positive. Yeah, so you're not on your own. I'm excited to see them because I know they're coming to see me and I've got someone to talk to. It's like my family, really. Yeah, they're like my family.
I think last time when we got caught up with Safe Families, we had a few people from our church approach you guys and hopefully kind of get involved. So if someone's watching this thinking, oh, maybe I do have some time actually, maybe I've got some capacity to help, what are the different ways that people can get involved?
Okay, so there's three main ways really. You can become a family friend with us, and I would love it if you were able to do that. If you're sitting there thinking, yeah, I could give an hour a week, you can just go to our website and there's a link there to click on to volunteer with us. It's a very short form, it only takes you a few minutes to fill out to become a family friend or a host friend. But if you're thinking, actually, do you know what, that's really not me, I'm not a people person, I don't think I could do that, there are still ways you can get involved. You can become a prayer partner with us. You know, we really need people to stand in the gap and pray both for the families that we're supporting, but also for the volunteers, make sure they're covered in prayer. And then the third thing, you can give to us financially. You know, we are a charity. We receive the majority of our funding from the local authority, but it doesn't cover all our costs. So any gifts are always very welcome. If you feel that that is something you'd like to do, you can give a one-off gift, or just £8 a month if you're able to make that commitment, will help us to support one family for 1 year. And again, you can sign up for that through our website.
What are the kind of things that actually we can be praying for you? So how can our church kind of support you at this time?
Thank you. Yeah, that would be fantastic. I think, as I said, praying for our families, you know, just generally, the families that come to us are not Christian normally. So praying for opportunities for our family friends, but also for protection, I think, protection from COVID, especially at this time. But also just general protection for safety. You know, we are going out, meeting people who, when we first meet them, obviously they're not known to us. So I don't want to call them strangers, but you know, they're not known to us. So just for general protection and safety, that would be great.
Yeah, great. Well, it's been so good, Rosey, to catch up with you, and we're just so pleased to be able to be a kind of a really small part, really, of what you're doing. It's just so valuable, and especially with you being able to get alongside the local authority, just really affecting local communities is just amazing, and obviously something that is hugely on God's heart for us to reach those that are just vulnerable and hurting, and that just need that extra support. We just pray blessing on you, particularly, and you know, and the whole charity at this time. Thanks, Rosey.
Thank you, Sally.